All right, everybody. Now we want to welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, the incredibly talented singer/torch singer-songwriter Hanna Clive. Hello and welcome to the show.
Hey, everybody. How you doing?
This is New Hope, Pennsylvania, receiving London. Are you over? Is Sir Winston Churchill around? Are they bombing yet?
Not quite, no. Well,
run into the subways. It's a blitz. Run into the subways.
Anyway, let's do some introductions, starting off with my cool, outrageous man about town co-host, Mr. Ron Russell.
Hey, Blondie. You look so cute now that you're right. Give us that smile.
Thank you for the direction. It's perfect.
Give us that smile.
There you go.
Did you know that English people have the worst teeth?
She doesn't.
No, she doesn't. Yeah. My friend James Jessup, who lived in this country for a while, used to always say to me, everybody in England has rotten teeth. And I'd say, James, why? He said, I have no idea, but they all have bad teeth. And that I don't find to be true.
And we have a lot of people from the UK on our show.
Yeah, they all have beautiful teeth. So I don't mean.
They're all in entertainment.
And you have beautiful teeth too.
It's a myth, honey. It's a myth. I have a lot of American friends, and they've said this to me. You know that they fully expected when they came over here for everybody to just have the most appalling teeth, but we don't. You know.
Who started that rumor?
I don't know. I can't.
I think Shakespeare.
I'm so not responsible. You know. All I can do is wave the flag, but you know.
Shakespeare started that.
So let's say some more highs. First, we got the man behind the boards, Mr. Chad Murphy.
Hello, Hannah from Florida. How are you?
Hey, Chad. How you doing?
Doing well. Good to have you.
Then we have a chat room full of people. So say hello to everybody in the chat room.
Hello, everybody in the chat room. I think we were just talking, actually, weren't we? Just now in the chat room, I was having a great chat with a few people.
Yes, you were.
I suspect I'm going to love you.
Also, hold on, though,
I really
they're saying
think
how
so.
pretty
I
you
think
are.
you're going to be so nice, and I'm going to want to be friends with you.
They're talking. They're talking in the chat room about how beautiful you are, and then
how
somebody else
nice.
did say that they heard the same thing about the teeth, though.
my friend James, and he had nice teeth. And I said, "What about you?" He said, "Well, I'm in America. I had my teeth fixed." I said, "Okay."
So before we start, first of all, you guys, Hanna Clive is on Twitter. You can follow her at Hanna Clive, HANNACLIVE. And we're going to talk a lot about her music, and she's from London. But before we do that, I just want to mention your father real quick, because I looked up your father, and I'm a huge fan, and I'm actually friends with Malcolm McDowell, and your father was in A Clockwork Orange.
Oh, wow.
He was? Who was your father? Who's your father?
Sorry, Ron?
Who?
My father was an actor was the late John Clive. He was in things like, Clockwork Orange, like Jimmy just said.
In the Italian Job?
Oh, I know the name. I got a face.
If you saw his face, you would know,
who he
is.
The name
and he was in
also.
Great Expectations, the version that had Michael York.
Then I know who he is.
You know, I believe so.
I looked him up on IMDb to look and see what he was in.
I know who your dad is now. Now I got his face. Took a while.
I'll tell you something else as well. He also, this is a lesser known fact. He and they covered it up for years, but basically, he voiced John Lennon in the Yellow Submarine.
You're kidding? He ghosted him?
No, he did his voice. So when you hear the speaking part of the Beatles in the Yellow Submarine film, that's not actually the Beatles speaking. It's 4 actors, and one of them, my father did the voice of John Lennon.
I actually think that's actually like on IMDb. He has a credit for the Yellow Submarine. I don't know if it was for that voice.
Was their Cockney so strong that you couldn't understand them if they spoke? They spoke Cockney, right?
No. They were Liverpudlian. No, the reason they didn't want to do it was the Beatles was because they were concerned. Because I think there'd been an American cartoon that had come out, and they were voiced with American voices. So the Beatles kind of thought, we don't want to be involved with this in case it's no good, you know. And so they weren't involved with it. And then they hired these actors, and of course my father was one of them. And he kind of became spokesman for all the actors in that. Because they had this big sort of American producer guy, typical Hollywood producer guy. His name was Al Brodax, and he was like chomping on a cigar. And my dad met up with him and had to explain to him, no, we're going to make sure that we do these voices in an authentic, Liverpool accent. And so he fought for the other actors and to make sure that was what happened.
And then
let her finish.
Okay.
And they did the film, and thank you, and they did the film, and then the Beatles saw the film, they saw the rushes, Ron, and they went, oh my God, this is amazing, which is why you then get the bit tacked on the end, and then they went to the big preview, and of the release, the actors went along, and then there were their names on the credits, and all it said was voices, didn't say what the parts were. And they've got
So your father didn't get credit.
no, so they.
I would have killed.
Honey, for 25 years it was like that, and then it all broke finally. Fortunately, about 5 years before my father died, so he did finally get his recognition, and for that, and so that was tremendous, But,
I'm such a fighter of this. Jimmy, when I joined this show 5 years ago, it was the Jimmy Star Show. And I said, no, it can't be the Jimmy Star Show because I'm just as much a part of it as you are. It should be the Jimmy and Ron Show. And he said, no, it's never going to happen. I said, well, then make a Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. And he did. Otherwise, I wouldn't be on the show. I am a stickler for credit. If you work in our business, you must be credited for your work. Years ago in Hollywood, Barbara Stanwyck, her name went above the title of the movie. It was Barbara Stanwyck in the name of the film. And that's how they did it. So I grew up with this thing about it's so important to be credited for your work. And your father, that was disgusting what they did. Just disgusting.
Well, it's what happened, it was very disappointing for him, but it was okay. He went on and did what he did, and I 100% agree with you about billing, and that was one of the things that my father instilled in me, how important that is, because
it's so important.
Because as Cody was saying, earlier on, it's enough of a struggle as it is, and as you were saying last week, I think, Ron, that you've got to learn your craft, if you want to be any good. And that takes time, and that takes, as we say in London, hard graft, and eating out of cans of beans and things like that. So damn right, you want your darn right you want your billing.
Well, Hollywood's famous for that because in the late 1940s, the communist thing happened in Hollywood, where the famous 10 were called communists and they weren't able to write movies or perform in movies. They boycotted them, and then they did work under different names. Like Spartacus, what's his name, the writer, I forgot his name, he wrote it, and Kirk Douglas was great enough to say, oh no, we're going to use your real name. And Hollywood had a shit fit, but they used his real name, and he got credit for
Trumbo,
Spartacus.
that's like that movie Trumbo was about.
Trumbo, that's his name, Trumbo. Thank you, Jimmy. Oh, Trumbo was his name. So I'm with you and your dad about, but now we got it out there.
I'm a big fan though of your dad. Like when I didn't know who he was, but then I Googled the pictures and I was like, oh my gosh, I've seen like all this stuff. So I think it's great that you come from an entertainment family. Number one, I think it's kind of cool that you chose instead of to become an actress or I guess you do writing because he was a famous writer too, right?
That's correct. Yes, he was also a best-selling author, and not just once either. So
you're a writer, though. You're a writer, but then you, instead of going into acting, you went into singing.
Well, I did. I really caught the bug. I'd always said, when I was tiny and Dad, they'd say, what do you want to be? I'd say, oh, I want to act. I do. And it's still something I'd very much like to do. But like my father, he was multifaceted.
So are you. Besides, you know who you look like? Kate Blanchett. Do people tell you that?
Well, now that's a huge comment. Ron, you can come to London. I'll buy you some.
No, you know what I really love are the crumpets. When I was there, I go to England quite a lot, and the first thing I do is I feel British. I have my tea and crumpets, and I love them.
Where do you go? Where do you go for your tea and your crumpets, Ron?
I have friends. I have no idea. I'm in London. They take me to all these cute little tea rooms. Real tea rooms, guys, not the bathroom tea rooms. But all over.
You're in London, I have to go for tea and crumpets. I've got my tea here, you see. This is my tea.
Oh, that's so cute.
My friend James, he lives in Lancashire, all the way out in the country, North England.
I know it. Got family.
And he's got a farm there that is huge, like thousands of acres or whatever, and the house is like 500, 600 years old. There's an old church there that still has the knights in armor, the cement figures. I mean, this is a fabulous. Anyway, I love England. And London, I'm not thrilled with anymore. I liked London 30, 40 years ago. London today, for me, is like New York. It's just lost its charm. It doesn't have it anymore. Too crowded, too many cars, too many weirdo people.
Well, it's a very, very metropolitan place,
Yeah, too metropolitan.
Places, they change, don't they? They morph, they go through phases. London's cool. London's doing what it's doing. So we're happy.
There you go.
No, I'm happy with it also, but I remember it years ago when, like New York, where women wore hats with veils and gloves and coats, and gentlemen wore coats and suits, and it was an elegant city. Everybody behaved elegantly. It was, very, very.
Hannah's the one who in the chat room when we were talking about like.
No, New York was that too. Now you go.
No, wait a second.
We're in New York all the time. People look like shit. They dress like slobs. You'd think they would. I mean, what the outfits they have on in Manhattan. They go to Bloomingdale's. They go to Henry Bendel's in bathing suits or whatever, flip-flops. It's just not heard of anymore in my generation. We used to get dressed to go shopping. I would never wear jeans in New York as a kid. Are you crazy? Jeans in New York City? We got dressed. White shirt, tie, jacket, slacks, shoes.
She likes the napkins too and the tablecloth. She was the one in the chat room last week who was talking about it, or 2 weeks ago.
What's with this no tablecloths?
Oh no, I'm with you on that one. I like to go to. I love going to places like that. I was very, very fortunate as a child to go to places like that. We do still have those places in London.
I go to them.
Oh,
that's one of the things I say to my friends. I need tablecloths. I don't go to Formica.
Well,
no Formica.
So here's what we're going to do, you guys, because we want to get some stuff in on Hannah now. So Hannah, you guys, is a fabulous musician. Let me do some bragging for her because it's been a big year for her. She was Artist of the Year in Starlight Music Chronicles, which is a Canadian publication. She was also runner-up for Radio Wigwam, who plays a bunch of the artists that we have on the show, actually, for Best Female Artist 2017. She's got an EP that I don't think this came out this year, but it got revamped this year or last year, didn't it?
It's last year, yes. You're right, Jimmy.
So this is an EP. It's called Kiss of Life. It's got 3 songs on them. One of them's called Wanna Have Fun. We're going to play that in a minute for you. And on, I believe it's November 17th. Is that a right date? Is that the right date? You have new music coming out on November 17th.
You're spot on. You're absolutely correct. And my new single, Remember to Breathe, my long-awaited new single, new music will be coming out, as Jimmy said, on Friday, the 17th of November.
There you go. So I want to play this so people get to hear it. So Chad,
I've never heard you. I have no idea what do you sing? What sort of? I've never heard you. I'm honest. I don't lie on the show, by the way. I've never heard your music.
I appreciate it.
Are you pop?
She's answering, and you're not letting her answer.
Because we have an overlay.
Okay, well
here.
let her go. Let her just relax.
There's a couple of minute delay.
Couple seconds. Tell them what kind of music you consider yourself.
Will I like it?
I think you would, Ron. It's classic songwriting in the absolute classic sense of the word.
I love it. I love it already.
And I'm multi-genre, so I can sing many, many different styles. So it's whatever kind of musical direction is sort of taking me at that moment, or whatever feeling feels appropriate for whatever it is I'm lyrically, or emotionally trying to express, But
I'm going to be very happy with it, because last night we went to a club. The music, the rock band they all say is fabulous, not my kind of music. What they call Revolution. The music was so loud, and the bass thing was I had to have rubber things put in my ears, and they were screaming. They don't sing, they scream. You can't even hear the lyric because the music is louder. So I don't like that sort of music, rock. I like Doris Day, Peggy Lee, Johnny Mathis.
Now you're talking about, that's what my father used to play, and my mom, they used to Black Coffee by Peggy Lee. I love that song.
Absolutely, Black Coffee. What's better? You should do it. Why don't you do the cover? Oh,
I'd love to do that. And
bring it back. Show these young jerks what real music is like.
Julie London was another one. I love
Cry Me a River.
And Fever as well. Another was that Peggy Lee? Peggy Lee did Fever.
Yeah. And Doris Day, all her wonderful songs.
I love Black Coffee.
Okay, so hold on.
Johnny Mathis, chances are.
So Chad.
Yeah.
Chad, okay, so you have the video for Wanna Have Fun, right?
I do.
All right, so here's what you're gonna do, Hannah. You're gonna actually introduce it. We're gonna play it. It's not a real long song, and that way we'll come back and talk about it as soon as it's over.
This is my recent track of mine off of my last EP, which is called Wanna Have Fun. And we shot the video in Richmond Park and around Hampton Court near where Henry VIII used to live. So there's a bit of a run-in and a bit of a local history behind the video as well for you.
That
All right,
neighborhood.
everybody, enjoy. Hanna Clive.
Yeah.
Just wanna have fun. Yeah, and I wanna run naked and laugh in the sun. Oh, but I wanna know what exactly it means. I keep coming back to you, things that you do while I laugh and I cry, driven to you while I know mumbling voices, they will talk, and they'll twist it, 'cause they've got nothing else better to do. But you know I don't care about their cheap talk and no one looks stares, 'cause it's you and you, and the things that you do while I laugh and I cry, and I'm driven to you. Oh, and I just wanna have fun. I wanna walk in the light, in your light and be done. I wanna live as I choose, not just live it for you, and still have you, and still have you. My mama said, this ain't no dress rehearsal, my dear. You gotta live life to the full, forget your past tears. You've got youth on your side, don't just let it fly by. I look to your future and all that means. Well, you know I see you when you're walking somewhere by me. I just wanna have fun. I wanna walk in the lights, in your light and be done. I wanna live as I choose, not just live it for you, and still have you, still have you, still have you. Ooh, yes, still have you. I must be cautious not to fly too close to your sun. As wax on my wings will melt as I fall into your love. I just wanna have me some fun. I just wanna have fun. I wanna walk in your light and be done. Yes, I just wanna have fun. I just wanna have me some fun. You know, I just wanna have fun.
That was good. There you go, Jimbo.
All right, everybody, so that was Hanna Clive. The name of the song is Wanna Have Fun off the EP, Kiss of Life. It's available, worldwide, right? All this stuff, if everybody wants to go down and get it, they can go to iTunes in any country.
That's right. They can just head on over to iTunes or go to my website, and all the links are there. So it's available in all sorts of stores. And
what is your website? You got to tell everybody your website.
My website is hannaclive.com. All of my social networks where you'll find me are all got my name there. It's all Facebook is Hanna Clive Music. Twitter, as you said earlier, is at Hanna Clive. And so on and so forth. Instagram at Hanna Clive. But if you want to come,
do I follow you on Instagram?
I think we just joined up on that one.
Okay.
I'm still carrying a bit of an L plate when it comes to Instagram, if you see what I'm saying. So
love it. So listen up, everybody. Ron loved Hanna Clive. Say something, Ron.
It's music. It's a voice. It's pleasant. It says something. Maybe I'm old-fashioned, but I love it. It's today. It's yesterday with today's. How can I say it? It's a yesterday feeling with a today's mood. You know what I'm trying to say. It's yesterday, but done today. It's not done like yesterday, but it is yesterday.
It's a modern version of yesterday.
Yeah, it's today's yesterday, done very well, and I love it. It's going in the car, and Jimmy and I have an hour-and-a-half drive from New Hope to Manhattan. This evening, we're going to the Duplex to see
Randy Jones from the
Randy
Village People
Jones,
and
who's our
Revolution.
friend from Village People. You know YMCA?
Fantastic.
Randy.
Yes,
and
yes.
Randy's got a new song out tonight, and he's going to sing his new song for us. So we're going there to premiere it, help him, blah, 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 blah. Place should be packed. We're getting all dolled up.
Absolute scream. You'll have a scream. That sounds like
Oh,
I
yeah.
just was there, I'd come with you.
Absolutely.
And we would say, come along, as you belong. You would do well there. Listen,
Also,
I'm
everybody
not,
in the
I'm
chat room,
not
hang on.
lying.
Everybody in the chat room loves the music, so let's give her some feedback.
But
Everybody
wait,
says how
one
great
thing-
it is.
One thing, then you can have the floor. Because I forget things. I'm old. Seriously, if you think I'm full of shit, I'm not. I'm going to call you when we come to London, and we're going to have that tea and crumpets. And I don't know where the restaurant, what the tea place was, but it had stained glass windows, and it was somewhere in London. You opened up a door. It's a very famous place. It's a tea house.
I'm trying to think. There's various places that could be. I mean, you can do all sorts of. You can go and have lovely tea and cakes at Fortnum's.
You know what? It wasn't far from the park. Because I remember when we left. Was it?
Fortnum's, as in Fortnum and Mason. Was it Fortnum's?
How
or was it?
I know?
He will never know
I mean,
anyway.
I don't even remember.
I don't want to waste time on it, you guys. We got
I
like
don't
5
remember
minutes.
restaurants here.
We've got 5 minutes.
But it was not far from New Hyde. Was not far from New Hyde Park, because when we left, we drove past the park. And then you know what I saw? I saw an American McDonald's or something, or Burger King, and I freaked out. I said, "Oh my God, they even got Burger King here."
So how many instruments do you play? I want to talk music because like everybody in the chat room wants to know more about you.
I play, let me think, I play piano, guitar, flute, piccolo, and obviously I sing and I write. So, I mean, not counting well, if you include the voice, 5, I guess, that would be 5, yeah.
Quadruple threat. More than a quadruple threat.
Whatever's 5, quadruple, I don't know what 5 is.
Six threat.
It's too late here in England for me to even begin to try and work that one out.
How did you meet the people? Because like one thing I noticed when I'm looking at your album is at your EP, like I recognize like a lot of these people. Like these are people who work with like really big people. Like John Ashley, like he's a big person.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've got to know various different people through before I did my solo work. I worked with various sort of household names. So, I mean, I worked with people like, I got to sing on records with people like Ray Charles, and I was on albums and records, singing backing vocals, kind of, I suppose, a bit like sort of Sheryl Crow.
Yes.
So that was my start in the industry. So I was around a lot of those sessions, and those that I wasn't singing on, even then I still got to sit in on, because I got to know everybody and you network, and that's what you do. And so I was very, very fortunate. So I met some fantastic session musicians during the course of my own work. So then when they were encouraging me, people like Ronnie Wood and stuff like that were encouraging me to, and I don't regularly hang out with these people. That's not what I want it to sound like, but on the occasions when he met me, and he heard my CD, he absolutely loved it, and he said, that one, because everyone was playing loads of music, and he just sort of like lifted his head up and went, that one, who's this? And they said, that's Hannah, and then I ended up, singing alongside him, doing some backing vocals and stuff like that.
That is so cool. I mean, those are really cool things to happen.
Meanwhile, I love your dimples. She's got the sweetest dimples. Every now and then when you smile, your dimples show, and you look so pretty. I wish I had dimples, and I wish I had a cleft in my chin. I was going to have one done once. I really wanted one. I wanted to be Cary Grant. And in order to be Cary Grant, I had to have a cleft in my chin.
Yeah, but then you wouldn't be Ron Russell, and we love Ron Russell.
Yeah, but I wish I was Cary. I wish I could have gone to bed with Cary Grant. I mean, he's the sexiest man in the world to me.
So much information, Ron. So much information.
I think he's pretty hot too. Actually, I would go with that.
Everybody knows we're gay. Jimmy and I are married. We're married 5 years legally in New York.
So wait, I want to go back. Okay, yes, I think Cary Grant's pretty hot too.
We're the first gay couple to be on the networks, that haven't been kicked off, that are openly gay. So we are really, we're pace setters.
So I want to go back because
we are something special that we're gay and we're allowed to do this.
So because we've got 3 minutes, so I want to talk for a minute. All right.
Sure. Go ahead.
Okay. So first of all, I didn't know that I Am Warface. I thought you were I Am Warface. I didn't know that's a band you managed. Like I see all those tweets and I retweet them and I never actually did anything with them. So
the situation with that is how Cody was talking. I'll be quick. How Cody was talking earlier on about how hard it is for indie artists and everything else like that. So, and he's absolutely right. We have to. We don't get any choice. It's set at 99 cents, Ron. A track. It's terrible. Anyway, so that's what's going on. So what I've done is through social networks here in England and so on out across the world, is I've sort of found like-minded artists. So I believe that we need to set rivalries aside and we need to support one another, because in lieu of a record company or anyone else doing it, we should be supporting each other. So
I agree 100%.
100% my support.
No,
yes.
I do that same thing.
That's how I met I Am Warface, because I met them online, and I would share their stuff, and they were, it's all about manners, and you build up trust, and they were sharing their stuff with me, and we cross-promote each other, and then it just grew and grew. And then one day they went off on, they got a call from Gary Newman's office in Los Angeles to ask them to support him on his recent UK tour, which was a sellout, by the way. And
Gary Newman, I mean, he's huge.
Oh, absolutely. Electronic auteur, the show, the new stuff he's done, it's fantastic. And I Am Warface needed to have someone to help them on that, so they asked me. And that's the way it went, So we're kind of a cooperative. We're like a family. We trust one another. We support each other. And that rolls out across England, because there are other bands I know in Manchester. There's the whole scene up north, up in Leeds as well. And we all just basically help one another out. And hopefully we'll get to a point where, I Am Warface are in Brighton, and they're also London-based. I'm London-based. And we'll all start swapping gigs with each other and helping each other out.
Absolutely. No, I like
think
that.
It's a good plan. I think it's great. Now, let me hear more. Wait, I want to know some of her personal life. You married?
I am not married, Ron. No, I am footloose and fancy free.
That's how come you're able to do all the things you do. If you were married, you wouldn't be able to.
Oh,
you have choices in this business, the business or marriage.
Basically, I've been in long-term relationships, but
right.
When I have a child, I have a beautiful daughter.
Good.
And she's approaching being a teen. She's upstairs, and she's been told that she's to stay off the Wi-Fi whilst Mummy's using it. So yeah.
Now,
teenagers, good luck, honey.
Does she like the singing?
I raised 2 daughters through their teens. Oh.
Already started.
I'm going out this evening, and you girls are on your own because you're 16 and 18. No smoking, no drinking, and no boys. Yeah, right.
Try and get anything past us, It's like she's going to really have to go. I think possibly though, because she loves the singing. In answer to your question, Jimmy, but she takes it all in a stride. It's because it's what Mummy does. It's what what Granddad did. So she's kind of like, meh, you know.
Right.
I just, you know, but she's proud of me, you know. And I told her I was doing the show, and I actually got a wow, which is pretty good. So I was pleased with that.
All right, so
nothing phases them when you're in the business. My kids don't care.
We gotta go.
I mean,
we gotta go.
Deirdre's
We
an
gotta
actress.
Go. We gotta go.
We're going.
I told you that. So listen up, you guys. This is Hanna Clive. Follow her on Twitter at Hanna Clive. Hanna is HANNAHCLIVE. You can go to hannaclive.com. Look out for her new single, Remember to Breathe. It's coming out next Friday. And after it comes out, she's going to send it to us. I haven't asked her this yet. And then we'll play it on the show.
And listen, when you come over the pond, you call us when you flip over the pond.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Ditto, Ron. When you come to London, please give me
No, I'm serious. And when you come over, we'll take you to New York to all the dives. You'll love it.
And then we can do carpool karaoke in your car.
Absolutely.
We can do carpool karaoke. That would be great.
Ron, I totally want to do carpool karaoke.
He doesn't even know what that is, but I'll show him.
What is that?
I'll show you because we don't have time.
Okay.
So Hanna,
Anyway,
thank you so much. Good luck. You've been a gem.
You're a sweetheart. You're a pleasure, and I hope to meet you in person. I want to meet you in person.
Bye, everybody.
Darling.
Thanks so much. We'll see you guys next week.
What a nice girl. What a nice person. We have such lovely people on our show. How come the world is so rotten? We know only nice people.
And everybody in the chat room, thanks so much for tuning in. Yes, we know nice people. Chad, you're a rock star. Thank you so much. And we'll see you guys next week.
Later, fellas.
Bye, everybody. It was a good show. I had a good time. Fun show. Good show.
We'll take you out to Jimmy Stars. He'll dress you right. You'll feel like a star. We'll hook you up. Now you look sexy. Your game is tight. Gonna get laid tonight. You need Jimmy Star. Jimmy Star. You need Jimmy Star. Jimmy Star.
One day I was walking down the street. My mate come up to me and said, "Hey mate, wanna go to a party?" I'm like, "What are you talking about, love? I ain't got no car."